Never a red card, never.
You can see us play a lot of football, string a lot of passes together to work really hard for a chance, and then, you know, centre-half has a shot from 20 yard and it's in back at net.
As bad as he is at finishing sometimes, 𝐍𝐸𝐻𝐍, is he worth a shout?
I had optimistic hopes for top 4, top 5. I don't think it's going to happen.
If he leaves it, it goes in. That's the mad part. The cross went in, it was that good. If he leaves it, it's in bottom corner.
I know.
It looked harder to miss.
Right, another dip in the roller coaster that is this season. A 2-1 defeat against Millwall, a sickener of a late winner. Here's what you lot had to say about the game. A late goal, a sickener for us, 2-1 defeat at the Lane. What did you make to it? I agree.
I didn't think it was that bad. I thought first half we were worse than when we played with 10 men, to be honest.
Yeah.
Thought with 10 men we played with an intensity and a tempo that we're missing in first half. And I actually thought we looked more likely to score until they scored, but keeper don't make any saves, does he? That's the thing that worries me most when you watch us, because you can see us play a lot of football, string a lot of passes together to work really hard for a chance, and then, you know, centre half has a shot from 20 yard and it's in back at net.
Late goals again, isn't it? Like, how many games this season have we seen late goals? And I know we're down to 10 men today, which I'll definitely come to because I don't think it were a red.
Yeah.
But it's just late goals, and it's just frustrating, obviously.
It's normally us scoring them, though. I saw a stat on Twitter. Sheffield United have scored the most goals in the last 15 minutes out of all the Championship and the top 5 leagues in Europe. There you go, bit of a stat for you. Exactly, it's nuts. The sending off, anyway, you've touched on it. Talk me through it.
I've got to see it back. I spoke to my dad who watched it at home, and he says it's a dive, but my dad's a bit of a nut, so I've got to see it back. But from what I saw in there, it looked like he wanted the penalty, but at the same time, if there's contact, you've got to give it. Yeah, fair enough.
I wouldn't have liked him in the referee, to be fair, throughout the game.
A shocking game.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's had an absolutely shocking game. Every 50-50 that we've won, or we've been, there's been a 50-50 and it's gone their way, there's not a foul when it's a foul. Every 50-50 that we've won is a foul. Yeah. And I just don't get it, personally.
And I don't know about you, but I thought officiating at home against Stoke were pretty poor. It seemed like it were almost up against us. And then we got away with that, so maybe when we did our fan cams, people weren't really thinking about that because we scored a late winner and it's all happy days. But today we've come off the worst side of that, and poor officiating's cost us again. Are we also to blame, do you think, or is it literally a poor game from referee and a freak goal from Jed Wallace?
It's a poor game and a free goal, but at the same time, for me, Olsen should save that. Like, the first mistake is letting the cross come in. You've got Ben Davies, who literally shouts to Stevens. He goes, "Stevens, that's yours." Stevens not even there. He's still running back. Yeah. So you've got to stop that cross. But they let it go in, and obviously it's caught him sleeping, and it's gone in. But for the officiating, the standard of officiating, whether it's for or against us in this league, is shocking. Yeah. Like, I'm seeing things that are being given for us where I'm like, really? Like, there's certain things that get given, and you just can't get your head around it.
It was poor again. We saw it against Stoke, constantly getting pressed in our own half, couldn't move it, and it's just the same again. Like, you wonder what Slav's thinking when he tells them, like, yeah, we want to play out from the back, but it just doesn't work. And then we try and kick it long, and then we don't have anyone who can head it, win the ball, and then we can go and attack them, which is, you must think at this point, I mean, as bad as he is at finishing sometimes, 𝐍𝐸𝐻𝐍, is he worth a shout? I mean, we know how good Sharp is at finishing, but I don't know at this point. It's just poor again.
Who stood out for you today, Dylan? Either bad or good for the Blades?
Egan's had one of the best games he's had. I know we've conceded a couple of goals, but for me, Egan's had one of the best games he's had in a while. Like, he's actually doing his defensive duties now, because there's too many times you see him running back and he's got his hand up, he's like, oh, that's my mistake. Yeah. And today he's actually not had to do that because he's been in position, he's been winning stuff. But again, the defence didn't win many second balls, did it?
What did you think to the sending off?
Didn't fully see it, so I can't say whether it were a dive or not, but the referee made a big song and dance, and as soon as he pointed, you knew what were coming next. And I would say he talked himself into it, because when he got booked in first half, he had a good go at referee, and there were a few nobbles on him throughout the game, and every time he had a go at referee, so it was almost as if he gave referee an easy out and made a decision easy for ref. But until I go home and watch some highlights, I don't know whether it were a dive or whether he were actually caught. You couldn't quite see.
We're a man down. What did you think to the sending off?
Never a red card. Never. Yes, he was on a yellow, but it went for us. For one, it were a pen to us. Virgil got fouled, but it is what it is, isn't it? At the end of the day.
For me, big issue, I don't know if you'd agree, is consistency. We're not, I mean, we'll win, we'll lose,
I think that's going to be season. I think I'm resigned to it being I think we're going to finish roughly where we are. I had optimistic hopes for top 4, top 5. I don't think it's going to happen. I think, like you say, we'll watch some entertaining football and we'll watch some disappointing football this season. Might even be the same game.
it was today.
So, Sheffield United's back to being Sheffield United, I guess, in many regards. We suffer and we make the best of what we do. It's hard to say what to do because, like you said there, you've seen glimpses of what we can do when we get ball on the floor and actually play and commit defenders. We can look dangerous, but we don't do it for 90 minutes. You sometimes think, Norwood don't do enough in games, and then he doesn't start, and then he comes on and looks pretty good for half an hour. So it's which games are right for the players. I think that may be the decisions we're still having to make.
Yeah, fully agree.
I mean, you watch first half in this game, we had no intensity, but they put no pressure on ball.
Yeah.
And that's a game that Norwood thrives on. And I'm not actually a massive Norwood fan, but that's the game he thrives in. You don't put any pressure on him, he'll do what he feels like. We didn't really have that first half.
Who for you probably is a consistent performer for us, or who's hot and cold?
I don't think we have a consistent performer. The only slightly consistent performer I can see when he comes in is Ben Osborne.
I'm trying to do him as many favours as I can tonight, because I do think, watching from the stands, Ben Osborne is someone who he works his arse off no matter what, doesn't he? Yeah, go on.
I've seen him a few times today. He's caught out of position and he's bombing to get back, and it's something you like to see.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the greatest footballer, but he just doesn't stop running. And that's all you can ask for in a footballer, really. If he's got a bit of technical ability, but I don't think he's got the technical ability of, say, an Ndai or a 𝐍𝐸𝐻.
Yeah.
So if he works twice as hard as them, which he does, it makes up for it.
Yeah.
So
Sunday, huge game, mate. What do you do to the starting 11? Do you keep? Well, we can't keep it the same. In terms of the 𝐍𝐸𝐻 issue, who do you bring in for him? How do you line up on Sunday?
I'd try 𝐍𝐸𝐻 and Ndai together. But if you don't do that, look at a flat 3 midfield of Hourihane, Norwood and Fleck. Just people that can just spring a pass. Because I've watched Barnsley play a few times this season. They're not great when you pass around them. Yeah. And we're quite good at controlling a game.
In these more physical games, and I feel like we say this every week, the more I think about it, but I guess that's a championship. We're coming up against physical sides. And I guess we're saying it about every striker as well. But McBurney knows the division.
Yeah.
And he's our big, gangly number 9 centre forward who's meant to put himself about. So maybe he's a shout. Would he come in for you against Barnsley? One of his old clubs as well?
He would for me. Because at this point, our squad's getting so tired. I mean, you look at players like... we've had a couple lads on earlier praising Fleck. I didn't think he was too great today myself.
Yeah,
I think he
I try and stay impartial, but I was a bit shocked.
So yeah, I think why not at this point, especially with Morgan Gibbs-White's absence, maybe try a 2 up front with Bill and McBurney. I know Hal and Nick weren't too much of a fan of it last season and season before, but I say it's worth a shout. Why not?
So you'd switch up to like a 4-4-2 maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of what we were going for today. Maybe 𝐍𝐸𝐻 as a number 10, but I'd have Sharp and McBurney up front maybe. I think 𝐍𝐸𝐻 had his moments today, but obviously remember the missed chance early on in the second half, wasn't it?
There's missed chances and there's that.
Honestly, I mean, it just reminds me back in that first Premier League season. Obviously, he had that great second Premier League season, but yeah, he comes out for me. I think, as we saw against Stoke, maybe he's more of an impact sub. We'll have to suss it out maybe later on in the season, but yeah, I'd have McBurney and Sharp up front against Barnsley.
Who comes out today that started for you to play Barnsley?
Well, that's.
Or do you keep saying? Do you keep the same?
Choice has been made for you, right, by referee. So 𝐍𝐸𝐻 is missing. So
yeah,
you can start with 4 that started second half. Really, so after that it'll be 𝐍𝐸𝐻, Osborne, more than likely Billy again, and Ndai.
Yeah,
you'd assume. I think sooner or later you've got to give McBurney a start. I know people don't think he delivers enough, but he's definitely not going to deliver anything when he's not on pitch. And Billy Sharp's played a lot of football.
Yeah.
Can't complain at his form, but sooner or later, you're asking a lot of work from him. So I just think we have got young players that the only way they're going to improve is by playing.
This squad's dying for a number 9. Like, Sharp can finish, but he's 35 years old.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of games this season where he's not going to score.
And do we have the answer at the club, or do we need to sign?
I think we need to sign someone. If you think about it, do you see McBurney scoring? I don't. Do you see Brewster scoring? I don't. Mousse can do a job, but he's never fit. Yeah. And McGoldrick, and I said he's too good for this division, which I do think he is, but he can't finish.
No, and nobody's even mentioned, and I don't know how. What about him clearing one off the line for him? I think it was maybe the start of the second half, or maybe the end of the first. I couldn't believe it. I actually don't know how he's managed to dig that out and it not go in.
If he leaves it, it goes in. That's the mad part. The cross went in. It was that good. If he leaves it, it's in bottom corner.
I know.
It looked harder to miss.
Like, I will gobsmacked.
There's too many chances like that with McGoldrick. I like him and I love his off-the-ball movement and his link-up play, but there's too many chances where you see him get in one-on-ones or get in positions like that, and it's like, right, that's harder to miss, and you go, oh, has he missed that then?
He's managed it. There you have it then. Some not very upbeat Blades fans, and I can't say that I blame them at all. If you see either myself or Reuben at the games, please make sure you make a beeline, come and speak to us. All opinions, as we've seen, we even entertained somebody saying Fleck was good, are welcome on this channel. It's meant to be a voice for the people. Follow me at @elvandome on Twitter. I'll be posting where we are after the game, before the game, so that you can come and find us. See you next time.